They say, love often begins with a spark, but sometimes ends with silence. Why do so many new relationships collapse before they've even had the chance to grow? The reason is rarely a lack of love, or even a lack of chemistry. More often, it's something far more subtle, the storm of overthinking inside the human mind. The philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And nowhere is that more true than in the fragile beginnings of love. Psychology shows us that our nature pushes us to analyze every word, every gesture, every pause, searching for hidden meaning where none may exist. But instead of bringing us closer, this constant analysis quietly suffocates connection. The early stage of love is thrilling, but beneath the thrill lies uncertainty. And the human brain does not enjoy uncertainty. When outcomes are unclear, the mind activates what psychologists call a threat response. It fills in the blanks, often with negative assumptions. A delayed reply feels like rejection. A distracted glance becomes disapproval. Attachment theory explains why. Those with anxious attachment styles are wired to scan for signs of danger. Even small shifts in tone or timing can feel like warnings of abandonment. Then there is the spotlight effect. Our tendency to believe others are noticing and judging our every move. So we replay conversations endlessly, convinced we've already ruined something fragile. Overthinking isn't limited to text messages. It plays out in every human-to-human moment. A pause in conversation feels like rejection. A casual comment becomes a hidden insult. A change in body language turns into proof that interest is fading. What should feel light and spontaneous begins to feel like an exam. Every word graded. Every silence dissected. And in all that analysis, we lose the presence that makes connection possible. Several psychological forces keep this cycle alive. Confirmation bias. Once we fear rejection, the brain hunts for evidence to confirm it. We notice the pauses, the silences, the missed calls while ignoring the consistent signs of care. The habit of imagining the worst. Our minds leap from small uncertainties to big conclusions. One missed text suddenly feels like the end of the relationship. A quiet evening becomes proof that the spark is gone. Projection. Often, what we believe about others is really what we fear about ourselves. If we feel insecure, we assume the other person must be losing interest. If we feel unworthy, we imagine they see it too. The spotlight effect. We believe our every word and gesture is under the microscope. But in truth, most people are focused on their own inner world. What feels like a huge mistake to us often goes completely unnoticed. Negativity bias. Our brain weighs the bad more heavily than the good. One awkward silence can outweigh an entire evening of closeness. One careless word can eclipse weeks of affection. As psychologist Roy Baumeister said, "Bad is stronger than good." And emotional reasoning. We treat feelings as facts. If we feel anxious, we believe something must be wrong. If we feel insecure, we assume rejection is coming. But emotions are signals, not evidence. Sometimes they signal fear, not truth. These patterns are hardwired into us. They are survival strategies repurposed for modern life. Hypervigilance once kept our ancestors alive. Today, it makes us hyper-alert to imagined rejection. What once protected us now quietly puts love at risk. If you're finding this helpful, take a moment to click like and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and ensures you won't miss the next video on the psychology of love and relationships. Although it feels protective, overthinking has the opposite effect. It doesn't create safety, it creates distance. It doesn't create clarity, it creates confusion. And often, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more we fear losing someone, the more our behavior pushes them away. Research shows that when people feel second-guessed or constantly tested, they withdraw. They stop feeling safe to be themselves. And attraction rarely survives under constant judgment. The good news is that overthinking can be quieted. With awareness and gentle practice, the cycle can be broken. Slow your interpretations. When you catch yourself analyzing, pause. Remind yourself, this is my brain trying to protect me. It doesn't mean it's true. Focus on actions, not stories. Instead of decoding every silence, look at patterns. Do they keep showing up? Do they invest in you? That speaks louder than one uncertain moment. Stay present. Connection lives in the now. Notice their eyes, their voice, the feeling of being together. Each time your mind drifts, gently return to the present. Calm your body first. Anxiety narrows our thinking. A few deep breaths, a short walk, even grounding your senses, can reset your nervous system before the spiral takes hold. And communicate honestly. Instead of spinning endless scenarios, try gentle truth. Saying, I felt a little unsure just now, can you share how you're feeling? Opens the door to closeness instead of distance. The number one reason new relationships fail is not a lack of attraction. It is the inability to quiet the noise inside our own heads. Overthinking makes us suspicious, restless, and disconnected from the very person we want to bond with. But when we learn to calm the mind, to trust consistent actions more than fleeting fears, and to embrace the natural uncertainty of new love, something shifts. Love feels lighter. Presence feels easier. And instead of chasing security through control, we build security through openness, patience, and trust. So if you've been caught in overthinking, remember the words of Carl Jung, who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakens. Look within. Trust yourself. Allow love to unfold at its own pace. Because the right connection will not need constant analysis, it will simply feel safe, alive, and real. This content is for educational purposes only, and is not a substitute for professional advice. If anxiety or overthinking feels overwhelming, please consider speaking with a licensed mental health professional.